Diabetics get to be selfish. Hey, I'm Seamus, and disclaimer, I'm not a doctor or a diabetes expert or a nutritionalist or anything like that. I'm just a guy who went from an 11.1 A1C to a 5.2, and I have no meds. I'm just good at reversing my diabetes. And this is some of the stuff I learned along the way. Before you make any changes, though, seriously, meet with your medical team, let them know what you're doing so that they can be part of the process. Okay? When you get type 2 diabetes, you now have permission to be selfish. What does that mean? Right? I get to be selfish. I don't have to care about anyone else. No. But you do get to say, I can't because I have to work out. You get permission to take care of yourself because it's part of your recovery, right? You get permission to be healthy and not just go along with everyone else, right? You get this. If you've ever been invited to like a party or something like that, and you're like, "Oh man, I really can't do that," but I need to make up an excuse. Diabetes is a pretty good excuse. You also get permission to be the person you have always wanted to be for medical reasons. I am 100% healthier right now. This is the healthiest I've ever been since high school. And it's because of diabetes and because of being selfish. It's because um, I took time to work out. I took time to research. I took time to eat the right things. I did a whole bunch of different things, right? But this is the healthiest I've ever been since I was in high school. I've missed a ton of meetings in the last year at lunchtime because I would not miss my workout. Right now, I am also a kind of a boss, I guess you could say. I'm one of the managers, and so if I say I can't make a meeting, they usually just move it. But I've had a lot of people who are like, "Hey, are you No, I'm not. I'm not available because from noon to 1, that's my second workout of the day. I've actually left meetings at 11 a.m. because that's when I ate breakfast, and the same thing at 2:30. I've been in meetings at 10:30 and be like, "Hey guys, I got to scoot real quick. I'll be right back." And I'll go and eat my breakfast and then I'll come back to it. Right? Because if I don't, and that meeting goes, I'm supposed to eat at 11 o'clock and I've been fasting for 16 hours, right? And I'm supposed to eat at 11 o'clock, but I don't eat until like say 12:30 or 1 o'clock. My blood sugar is going to spike. I'm hungry too, right? I have a schedule that I try to keep as much as possible. And when you first start doing this, I guarantee 100% it will feel extremely selfish. You will feel guilty. You'll be like, "Hey, can you do this?" Yeah, especially when it comes to employees, right? Like, "Hey, this client wanted to come in. Can you meet us at 1 o'clock?" Well, 1 o'clock's tough when I work out from noon to 1. I got to be back at the office. Can we make it 1:30? So, but they learn, right? But at first, it feels very, very selfish. Feels like, man, I'm so full of all I care about is myself, right? But you now have permission to do the work because you have type 2 diabetes. Now, not everyone's going to go along with it. I have people in my circle who are like, oh yeah, you got to go work out. And they kind of roll their eyes. And I'm like, hey, man, what do you mean I got to go work out? I have to go work out because that's what's keeping me from being on the meds because I have type 2 diabetes. And no offense, I'd like to not have it take years off my life. So those people can kind of, whatever. But you do have permission to be selfish. So I was talking to a friend the other day who's getting ready to go all in on their diabetes care. We've been talking for a while and had a really good conversation. And this came up. I said, in order for you to get started, you're going to have to be selfish. And this person is not selfish. This person is never says no. Family comes first, friends come second. Work is right in mixed in with everything else, running at a crazy pace all the time. And I said, that's not going to work, right? Because you're going to have to take this, and you've been doing all these things. You've known about this diabetes for a while, and we've been putting it off, putting it off, putting it off. And you've been putting it down here with like 15 things above it. Anything that comes up is another reason for you not to take care of your diabetes, right? You have to be selfish. And it was funny. We've been talking for a while, and that statement alone This person's like, "You're right." I said, "Yeah. Yeah, on this one, I'm right. I'm not right on everything, but on this one, I'm right. You do have to." And selfish is probably the wrong word to use for it, but it does make sense, right? The biggest issue comes from commitments, right? When you want to be selfish, work, Monday through Friday. My typical work schedule was I got up, had some coffee, I watched some videos on YouTube, I went to work for 10 hours. I came home and I probably take a nap, and then I was just a zombie the rest of the night. That was work. That was Monday through Friday. And I also work Saturday and Sunday, but not like full days. Family. My son is out of the house now, right? So that opens up a ton of time. You got young kids, man, they're a time suck for sure. Your friends, right? You got friends that are if you're really active in a friend group and they're like, "Hey, can you go do this? Do you want to do this? We're going out away for the weekend." All those kind of things, right? If you have to miss something though to get chemo treatments, would anyone judge you? Can you imagine being like, "Hey, can you go do you wanna go to lunch on Friday? Oh, I have to get a chemo treatment." Oh, God, you're always getting chemo treatments. What the heck? If you had to miss a meeting to have a surgery, would anyone judge you? Like, "Hey, we're getting all the managers together this Thursday for, can you meet at 1 o'clock? Oh, I have surgery at 2. What time do you think we'll be done?" No, they'd be no. They tell you, "Go to what are you doing? Go take care of you. You have to take care of yourself," right? But why don't they do that with diabetes? Right? How important is working out multiple times per week for diabetics? It's hugely important, right? How important is eating good food on a regular schedule for diabetes? It's hugely important, right? If you have to schedule time to work out and eat healthy, will anyone judge you? Will they? Maybe a little, but not much. The ones that love you aren't going to judge you at all. They'll be like, "Oh, that's your gig. Okay. Yeah, not a problem." All right. They'll probably be a little bit jealous because they're not working out as much as you are, but you got an excuse. You get to be selfish. You have type 2 diabetes. You have to be a little bit selfish and you steal back some time for you, some non negotiable time. So, is anything, do I ever miss a workout? Of course I do, right? I got to go to Florida in a couple of weeks, right? It's going to be really difficult to get in 2 full workouts a day while I'm with a bunch of other managers at a company. It's not going to happen, right? So what am I going to do? I'm going to get the morning workout in. And they know that I'm going to get the morning workout in. We start at 8 o'clock. I'll be working out at 6:30 and I'll be ready to go by 8 o'clock. But the lunch one, no, I'm not going to get that in. I might get a walk in the evening. We'll see. But more than likely for those 2 or 3 days, I'm only going to get the 2 workouts in. Right? Things are going to come up. You're going to have to miss a workout. Weddings, funerals, bosses in town. I remember, what was it? Just a couple weeks ago, we had one of our bosses showed up in town. And of course, I'm like, they were there till 1 o'clock. I wasn't like, well, hey, I got to leave at noon to go do a workout. No, I made sure that we were present and helped them and did everything they needed. And then as soon as they left, yeah, I went to the gym and took a late workout. But what we're kind of trying to do and what I'm always shooting for is that 90%, right? Get to 90% of your workouts and then pick weeks where you go 100% because those weeks are amazing. When you kind of start stacking them up. Like I remember I did a run of, I think it was 5 or 6 weeks in a row where I didn't miss one of my workouts. And that's 10 workouts Monday through Friday, disc golf. I walked like 20,000 steps on Saturday and then I ran long on Sunday. So it was like 5 or 6 weeks in a row. And it was really good. Now life happens and it's okay. But 90% is pretty dang good. So when you start looking at what you're doing with your extra 16 hours, are you really using it? Because most people work 8 hours a day because they're normal. I work a little bit more than that, but I'm not normal. But most people work, 8 hours a day. You got 16 extra hours. Say you sleep for 8 of it, right? You still have 8 hours. Are you really using it? Are you playing with your kids for 4 hours a day? Are you? Probably not. Are you watching TV 3 hours a day? Are you on social media for an hour every single morning while you're getting going? Probably. You can still have fun working out and you can still consume, You can't watch the little videos, but you can still listen to podcasts. I ran 4 miles this morning, and I listened to a podcast on disc golf. Right? Yeah, it was pretty good. But if you schedule the time to take care of yourself selfishly, you will find the time. It's not about not caring about anyone else. It's about caring about you enough to take care of your disease. You got an excuse. You get to be selfish. But even though no one's going to call you selfish, no, they're going to call you a different word, which is dedicated. Dedicated to getting better. And your family and friends will have no problem with you being dedicated to getting better. Now, if you have not told friends, coworkers, maybe some of your family about your diabetes, you could come across as either selfish or obsessive, right? Why are you always working out? You look so healthy, blah, blah, blah. They have no idea. So, but when the ones that you let in your circle, I encourage letting everybody in, but that's just me. They will have a different opinion of you when you have to go and work out all the time. You can't just do it on the weekends to have great success either, right? Daily beats diabetes. Consistency gets you a good A1C. So you have permission. You have type 2 diabetes. You get to be selfish for the right reasons. I hope your A1C is down. I hope you have an awesome day.